Robert Dow, Secretary.
Geraldine Yeo.
Jack Upward, Vice President, Vice Chairman.
And Jason Scott, Staff Liaison.
We'll go to the next one. Any appointments or resignations, nothing that I'm aware of, Jason, are you?
No, we do still have the need for one more member. We have 5 full-time members and 2 alternates. Currently are in need of an alternate. If anybody has an interest, they can reach out to a political party chair and let them know if you're interested. I had asked the mayor and our town manager for an update on that, but I haven't asked since our last meeting, so I had asked before the last one. So I'm not sure if anything's happened over the last couple of weeks. I was at the town council meeting last week, and there was no mention of it, so I'm not sure what's in the works. So if you know anybody who's interested, please feel free to reach out.
The next one on the agenda is the approval for our meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Could I request that we remove this from the agenda this month? Reason being is that we still have minutes from June as well as the August minutes that need to be approved. I haven't had a chance to complete the edits for the June meeting, and then I haven't had a chance to read over the September one yet either. So if it's all right, I would like to postpone it until next month, and then we can approve those 2 minutes as well as the one from this meeting, if that's acceptable to everyone.
Yeah, that's great.
So if it'd be okay, that we could do that.
I think we should open the floor to public comment.
The next one.
Just in case
Oh,
you guys want to say
I
something.
think I jumped in, yeah.
Only question I do have is, right now, you guys are trying to get the certification. Is the certification is annual or is one time?
It's, certification can occur on any given year. They give you 2 opportunities for a year. But recertification or applying, recertification is required every 3 years, but every year you have 2 opportunities if you wanted to try to achieve a higher level of certification. There's 139 towns in Connecticut. Many of them have achieved bronze level status. There's getting to be quite a few now that have achieved silver status, and that's what the town of Rocky Hill is currently trying to pursue. And there's a few who have achieved gold status, which is the highest level. That does require a little bit more effort than what we've currently been able to achieve. So there is a gap in what we've been able to perform. We're not able to achieve gold this time. But yeah, that's where what we're shooting for.
So the silver, right? Do you have any guidelines for the silver? Means the guidelines or the obligation?
We have to submit 500 points, and there is 4 toolkits that we need to submit, which 3 I think we already got approval for, and the 4th one we have submitted it. And fortunately, we were able to submit the corrections for the toolkit, and also were able to submit the 500 plus points. So it's still in review, and we are hoping that we get silver certification.
Actually, I do have an update on that. I was looking at the application. I have access to the Sustainability CT, and it looked like we got the 500 points if we add up all the numbers in there. But the only thing it doesn't show is the toolkit. So I'm not sure if we got the 3rd toolkit.
So I've definitely submitted more
I
than
know we
500
successful.
points for us, and
Yeah.
I updated the toolkit based on their recommendations as best I could. There was there's a lack of paperwork from the library that
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
saw that
everything
email.
that
Yeah, I
I
saw
would
that
like to
email.
have and what they had requested. So I let them know that, and then I modified our toolkit to try to reflect that as best I can.
Yeah.
But it is best to describe the programs that they've been doing over the last few years. There was some feedback they were hoping to get from the patrons of the library that had been done through, I think there were paper forms that were given out at one time. This is like back maybe in 2023. And some of that information is what went in ultimately to the current master plan that the library is operating on.
Yeah.
Ginny serves on that
Yeah.
board. But with the transition from one director to the one that they currently have,
Yeah, I saw that.
they don't have the availability of all the paperwork to be able to hand to me that they would love to do it, but they don't have access to some of these things, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that
Yeah, I-
Sustainable CT is happy with what I was able to
Yeah.
I
give
think,
them.
yeah, I think we're all set. The point is just that I think we just can't see any indication of this,
They said-
the toolkit, so I guess we'll have to wait for 2
Wait for
weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, that's what.
And then we
then
should
we
know
will
about the
know.
toolkit.
But
But
yeah.
it looks like, yeah,
It was like a marathon for us. We were like last stretch. They sent it for corrections, and we were updating and sending it. Jason.
It was
thank you
hard
so
when they sent
much.
it on a Monday, and
I
then we had to have
know.
it done by Friday. It was tough to do when we already had a lot going on, but you guys have chipped in, which is huge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
And I hope we gave them enough. There was some more points that we could have gone after if I had a little bit more time in my schedule, but I think we submitted enough. And we can correct those for the future, you know, when it comes time to recertify some of those ones that would still qualify, we can make
Because
sure that they were.
I was looking, I just selected the approved ones too, so that's, I think.
Oh, you did select the
I-
approved
I
ones?
just
Okay.
approved ones too, so I think, and if my addition was correct, because they don't total it up for you, but I looked at a couple.
That's great, because I looked on Friday and it looked like they were still showing only the bronze certification unless I had things scheduled, you know,
Yeah,
improperly
so-
selected. So maybe they've made some headway.
Yeah, as long as, I think it's continuous, they are updating it once it's
As they
updated
review,
in the
maybe they
application.
update it. As they start reviewing, maybe the status gets updated maybe to approve.
I think it's instantaneous when
Yeah.
they say, get that approval, so, but we'll see.
Knocking the wood.
Yeah.
We have there's a staff member from Sustainable CT that's been hired to try to assist select communities. So they have multiple staff members that have been hired to try to help specific communities. So we did have somebody partnered with us during this process who was trying to kind of guide us along the way, offered suggestions, kind of, you know, formalize some of the comments as things were being reviewed. So we couldn't have done it without Summer Mitchell because I think she was really instrumental to
Yeah, I'll second
getting us
that.
to where we're at. So hopefully it's enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I totally agree. She was, for the whole step of the journey, she was with us, kind of making sure that we are giving the right information, we are updating the documentation. So
Mm.
she was a great.
I do have one more question, if you don't mind.
Of course.
If you reach the silver status or gold status, right, do you have any privileges we have to get from the funding side of it, from the state or federal, or?
So there are certain programs that have federal and state funding that the town can go after to try to accomplish different projects. Sustainable CT also has some funding available through some of their private donors. They have requirements on how you can get a hold of that, just like state and federal grant money. One of the tough things for the town of Rocky Hill is that a lot of the state and federal funding that we run into requires a certain percentage to be matched by the community itself. So sometimes we don't always have a lot of money in our strategic budget at the time we may want it to be there for some of these things. It's something that we kind of need to plan in advance and try to work it into the budget each year. The budget cycle, you know, once that budget's set, we have to try to stick with it. But there are certain projects, some things that we currently have in the pipeline for trying to improve walkability in Rocky Hill, some sidewalk projects that you know we're taking advantage of with state.
The reason why I'm asking is, we as an industry, we take help from DOE, Department of Energy, for the sustainability, right? We have-
Yes.
Just I'm wondering, like, we have the state town level collaboration.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's what's nice is that there are staff members who can offer advice when we're trying to prepare grants. There are people we can reach out to at the state and federal level who can offer suggestions. They often have workshops that we can participate on, you know, online, or there's a frequently asked questions section that can help the grant writer be able to try to navigate some of it. Some of it can be pretty complex. And I have not written a lot of grants. The boss in my office, our Director of Community Development, Steve Black, he does some. Our town planner has done some. Our Economic Development Coordinator has done some. Our town manager, who was formerly the Economic Development Coordinator, he's He's done quite a few, so I think there's a lot of different people who have experience with grant writing, that depending on the lane that they travel in for their work, they have some specified knowledge that they've gone after and succeeded in.
Yeah. You guys are doing amazing work, right? It is going to the silver level. Thank you for that.
And one of the example on the funding that we have used for the crowdfunding, it was 2 years back, right, Jason? Yeah. So we actually involved the community members, and we used, so there was a grant where they can match to whatever the amount that we actually get the funds from the community, and we worked with the Blue Earth to actually, there were 50 residents who were picked from the lottery, and they actually gave us the small green bins where the Blue Earth for the composting of the vegetable scraps and the food waste. So they used to come and collect on a weekly basis. And I was one of the fortunate one to be part of that pilot program. So yeah, this was one of the way we actually used the funds from the government, from the sustainability.
Yep. And that helped the town create a program for some additional food waste collection. The materials that are collected by Blue Earth from the families in town that want to participate, they have to pay a fee every month for this type of collection. Basically, that stuff is brought to an anaerobic digester where the food that's deposited there is converted into energy. And then some of the byproducts from it is turned into a compost material. So it's kind of a combination. You're getting a little bit of both out of it. And it's not far from here, so delivering that material, it's not a huge carbon footprint. It's not as ideal as a family who has the time and space to be able to have a garden and be able to compost on their own property, but not everybody has that ability or time available or space. So this gives an opportunity for people to do it. What the town has done so far is we've opened up a location at our transfer station. So if residents want to recycle food waste, they can package that up, bring it down to the transfer station at the times that they're open, and there's a bin there where they can drop it off. That's what Jack does every week.
I do it every week.
Yeah.
I bring my food waste down there and throw it in the trash, in the recycle bin.
I do something similar in my community. I think I've probably reduced my food waste, my overall trash going out to get landfilled by probably about 25%. I was super shocked by that.
I think mine could be,
Yeah.
35, 40 maybe.
Yeah,
because
so
it's
some of the studies that
stuff
I've read,
Some of the stuff is heavy.
yeah, some of the studies I've read, the state has produced has said that food waste can make up anywhere between 20 and maybe 45% of a family household's trash. And currently, our landfills don't have enough capacity to be able to store the trash that we produce. So a certain amount of it has to be trucked out of state. So the state is trying to promote communities to create food waste collection programs to cut down on the waste that goes to landfills, with the hope of maybe reducing or hopefully even stopping that trucking out of state, so that we could continue with the landfill capacity that we have available. Yeah, it's good. The task force here, was involved with those first steps. I'd like to see the town do more. I think they want to do more. We've gone after a grant from the state of Connecticut for additional food waste collection locations. We haven't heard the results of the grant yet, and if we won, but if we do, we'll have funding to be able to install additional locations around town where residents will be able to have an app on their phone, enter their information, and it will unlock for you. You put food waste in, and the lock's behind you. So it prevents a chance for contamination with other things that shouldn't go in there. So with luck, we'll be able to get some of those. There are communities in Connecticut that are doing that type of program, so we saw the benefits of that, and it seemed like something would be really interesting. So the town manager and our finance director have been heading that up. So fingers crossed for that. I think it might be another month before we hear that.
1 month?
I think,
Okay.
right? Yeah. So, yeah. So there's some good things that we've done.
Is that the round two? Round two?
Yeah, SMMR2, yes.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
it's on
comes-
the
when it
agenda.
comes
I
down,
think,
so-
Yeah.
we already started on the next item. We can go to the discussion of the old business. Any update on the Rocky Hill Community Farm? Haven't seen,
Yeah, since our last meeting, just to remind folks, we had reached out to the MDC, our water agency, to see if there was availability for the town to be able to connect to the water system, so that we could provide water to our community gardens that we'd like to have at what was formerly called Stratska Farm. It's now the Rocky Hill Community Gardens and Farm.
Community.
Yeah. And that's on the corner of New Britain Avenue and New Road. We built a barn there last year, and we did a lot of site grading in preparation for a community garden. We had some testing that we did on site over the course of this year. Things will be ready for the spring next year. But having a water system on site will be good, because that way people can water their plants. They'll be able to rent garden plots and be able to produce what they want. We have someone that reached out to the MDC. The MDC is willing to waive a lot of the fees for the connection, and they've laid out a location for where the connection will be. I haven't heard when exactly they're going to make that connection, but I imagine it'll be this fall. So that'll be great. So we'll be able to run water from New Road into the barn, and then we're going to have a line going from the barn out to an outdoor spigot, so that people who want to water their plants will be able to come to the outdoor
That'd
spigot.
be underground?
Yeah, the pipes will be underground,
Okay.
and then the spigot will, come up out of the ground at a point near
Okay,
where
great.
the garden's.
With them?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have a hose, or you just walk up to the spigot and fill up your own container. I'm not sure what the plan is. But yeah, I've seen that at a lot of community gardens.
Yeah,
and usually
I
it's
think
just
Cromwell
a
has
spigot.
The
Yeah.
hose.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. And then, trying to think what else. We have a Boy Scout that's trying to get together some picnic tables. He's been funded through Home Depot for that, which is great. And in fact, from what he was telling me, they're even going to help with the labor. So he may get fully constructed picnic tables out of this, which is fantastic.
Where will they go?
We haven't chosen locations for them yet, but it'll be at the community gardens
Oh.
in a place where people can use
Is
it.
the remediation all set then?
I believe so. We've had testing over the course of the year. As far as I know, it's done. There may still be some testing that needs to be done. But after the remediation itself the remediation was completed, it's just there's follow-up testing to make sure that there's no contaminants that have migrated from those areas. So it's just a preventative measure. So as far as I know, everything's going well. So.
and that Eagle Scout is my son.
Yeah.
Who is planning for the picnic tables, and I have more information, so I wanted to update. He's working with the Home Depot, so what he's plan on doing is take less support from them and have the boys from his troop kind of pitch in and do more of the work.
Nice.
They'll be like maybe to supervise, and the rest of the work could be done by the team. So let's see. I don't think he has a date yet. He's working on the date. Unless Jason, you heard about the date?
I haven't heard the date yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to fill me in as soon as he knows.
He's working with the troop. on the date.
And then there's also a Girl Scout program to build a native plant garden on the site. So they've been working with my boss, Steve Sopelak, and our Open Space and Conservation Commission agent, David Palmberg. So they've had meetings with the Girl Scouts, so I think they have a proposal on what they'd like to do. I don't know if they've chosen what plantings they want to put in there, but that might be a great educational resource for town residents once that's in. So I'm not exactly sure where that's going to be placed. I don't have a map on me, so I'd have to look it up and see what they've proposed. I wasn't in those meetings. So for next month, hopefully I can have that information. Yeah. So I think that's about it for the farm at the moment. But yeah, hopefully there'll come a point where they'll start releasing rental agreements and let people get their parcels.
Do you think end of the year is it possible?
I don't know. I'd only be guessing. I don't know. I'd have have to ask that question. I'll have that information for the next meeting too. That's something I've been meaning to ask. So I apologize for not having that ready.
Well, we didn't get any points for that anyway, so
Yeah.
that'll be.
It has to be
your
fully complete.
Additional.
Yeah, it'll be a great
once
addition
we,
going forward.
Once we do.
Yep.
That's true.
And that was already in the books for years, this plan. So the concept has changed a little bit, but I think that there has been interest in having a community garden there for a number of years now.
Oh, yeah,
This is good.
We touched upon the action 9.5. I think you covered that, Jason, already.
Yeah, so we're waiting for an announcement on if the grant's awarded for the town for the food waste collection locations, yep.
So we don't have a
Do we
date
have a
yet, though?
date?
No.
I think when we had submitted the paperwork, they had said that they might have an answer for us by the end of the year.
Oh,
So
end of
the year is, it's winding down, so we'll see. Yeah, I can check with our finance director and see if she's had any feedback.
We'll go to the next one on the action, be promoting the waste reduction and reuse. So there is a recycling awareness presentation in the library. This is for the young kids and their families. There was one presentation done by Jason and there were a couple of
Joe Lentini,
Joe
Joe
Lentini.
Lentini, yeah.
In
that was a
the
good
senior center, the seniors were very interested, and there were a few people who got some of their stuff and asking Jason, can this be recycled? So it
Yeah.
was very interesting presentation by Jason and team. So we plan to have one more session at the library. It is the date, we have confirmed on the date, it's on November 25th at 6 p.m. The library is going to have it publicized in their website for registrations in the month of November.
Can you say the date again? I'm sorry.
November 25th at 6 p.m.
Cool, thank you.
Is this the one where we're gonna have the coloring project for the food waste?
Yeah, if we get
I
the
want to
grant,
wait until we actually
get
secure the grant.
Okay, before we try to do, so there'll
Yeah.
basically be your presentation, like we.
Yeah, I think I might change up the presentation a little bit, make it a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun for a younger audience.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, the one that I did for the community center, it was well received, but not heavily attended. So I'm hoping that this one might have a bigger attendance. I'll bring some prizes for the kids. I'll try to get some entertaining quiz questions and things to keep them involved, because I know it seems what works best is when you have active learning, and not just sitting there lecturing to someone. So something I'd like some participation in it. I haven't really developed much in terms of changing that presentation yet. That's something I'll be working on over the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
So
so that's a good presentation. I mean, you could probably go and maybe cut it down a little bit, so.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's
But it's,
you know, talking about how our waste is collected, how our recycling is collected, and then trying to make sure that the proper things are getting recycled. And then I had a segment where I talked about benefits of food waste collection.
So
and
you do it
composting.
with every school or?
Well, no, I'm gonna do it at the library. I think if I pick a time after school on a weekday, it might be something that the parents can bring the kids to, something that they can do and have a nice little presentation and still be able to make it home in time for dinner and whatnot. But it'd be a chance for a little bit of education for the kids. I remember when I was young, in the 80s, they were really pushing recycling in America, and a lot of the ways they were focusing on changing household behavior was to focus on children, educate them first, show them how it works in schools, and have them bring it home,
Actually.
right, for mom and dad.
Can I make one suggestion?
Please.
How about, so we, in the schools, right, we make like a competition between, one great idea, but other schools, right? And we can sponsor it, so we can bring some private companies like us. We can sponsor that idea, and then we can pick one idea, for 1 year, right? So the school children can just brainstorm and suggest one thing for the town.
So have like a different topic each year, is what
Exactly,
you're
so
saying?
we
Yeah.
give to, maybe the group them into the different schools, right? Middle, high, elementary, group them, and we make this a competition, like one best idea for the sustainable city for Rocky Hill.
Mhm.
Then select one, and we can get the project, we can be implemented with some private sponsorship. That way we educate them, also we reward them, and also that will be beneficial for our town.
I can reach out
Take
to
your
the
word,
Board of
right?
Ed and see if that's
If
something that might fit into their,
If that is possible, right, we
Yeah,
can
there
bring
might
our
be some
companies like
interest.
us, so that, hey guys, yearly we can create like an event. We select these best ideas and we present, the students present.
yeah, it might
We
be
can
fun.
select one and we start implementing them. So,
So-
think about it.
I believe the grammar schools and the middle schools are gonna have, next year, they're gonna have to start doing food collection
Food
Yeah.
too.
collection.
So
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about what's gonna happen. I mean, the high school's doing their thing, but
I was thinking about the bigger one, the big project.
Sure, yeah, yeah, like, you know,
Yeah.
district-wide.
Yes, so because
way
there
you
are so
envision
many
it.
companies like us, we spend so much money on the sustainability. We can ask, hey guys, this is your area.
Yeah.
If you can provide the information from which company you are from, just so we
After
know.
this, yeah.
If you can email us, that would be great. And this
Yeah,
is
we
a
could-
great
we could-
suggestion.
We could pass that information on to the
Information, yeah.
superintendent. So that's something they might wanna take a look at. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is the discussion of the new business. Before we go to the 2026 regular meetings, because I have to leave in 10 minutes, can we quickly go to the B and the complete street updates in the next one? The 2025 and 26 sustainable project discussion.
Yeah, sure. At the most recent town council meeting, we did a quick presentation about the benefits of the concept of complete streets, which is changing the way we look at roadways and not just focusing on vehicles, but also looking at other types of users of a roadway, walkers, bicyclists, taking into consideration the needs of businesses in that area, the transportation network that's required to deliver goods and services. It's kind of taking a broader approach and trying to figure out a way to make that route accessible for all of those groups and in a way that's done safely. A lot of America's roadway design in the last 100 years has been focused on vehicles. The rise of suburbs as people have been moving out of cities, it's changed the way people move in America. So with that big expansion after World War II, a lot of the focus was placed on passenger vehicles. So now we're trying to take a different approach where we're trying to make these travel routes available to everyone. So communities like ours are always trying to look for ways that we can improve those roads and try to make them as usable as possible for everyone. We talked about that because we had passed an ordinance back in 2023 adopting a complete streets policy for the town of Rocky Hill. But since 2023, we haven't done a lot in terms of formal implementation of that. Anytime we've repaved a road or we've considered a sidewalk, those are parts of the concept of complete streets, but we haven't had a formal process of review and getting different departments together to discuss these projects, to see if there's things that we can learn from each other so we can give the best level of service to the community as possible. So kind of that first step for us was kind of reminding the town council and the residents of the town what complete streets is, the benefits of it, with the hopes that over the course of the next couple of months, we can start having meetings amongst our staff internally to start putting information together, getting all the necessary parties who have an interest and have history and understanding of our roadways in town together so that we can look at areas where we think there may be problems, try to develop some solutions the town can go after to try to make our roadways better. Short answer. So, sometimes that can mean making the roadway geometry change a little bit to change driver behavior. It could mean the addition of sidewalks or cycle tracks for walkers or bicyclists. It can be increasing the accessibility for people with disabilities. And then also taking in consideration the businesses and the people that live in those corridors and trying to find ways to address their needs as well. I think that kind of our first step is to talk internally and then figure out, a checklist that we can put together that we can go through and look at different projects and analyze them, try to rate them. And then we can start soliciting feedback from the public about these projects and get their feedback and what they think may be useful. You're going to see something similar along the Silas Deane Highway. The town of Rocky Hill, and I talked about this at the last meeting. We hired an engineering firm in a grant that we're sharing with the town of Weathersfield. We've hired Camp Dresser and McKee, CDN, to do a study of the Silas Deane Highway, looking for ways of improving safety for people that travel on it. As part of that, there's going to be some community outreach in person at some events in Rocky Hill and Weathersfield, as well as creating a website that we can have people go to and see the mapping of those areas, and then they can pick simple icons that describe problems or things that they would like to see. So they can easily place things on the map and say, this is an area that I think is dangerous. This is an area that I would love to add more walking. Here's an area where we have a lighting problem. There's ways that we can easily have someone give their feedback into something that's graphic and visually pleasing and hopefully is encompassing enough to describe things that they're concerned about or would like to see on the Silas Deane corridor. They'll take all that data in and then try to produce a menu of different prescriptive changes we can make along the Silas Deane corridor to make it better. So with that would be a list of things that Rocky Hill and Weathersfield could do, and then trying to match it up, each of these projects, with grant funding. So they'll say, all right, here's a project you may want to tackle. This is the level of difficulty of it. This is the approximate cost of what something like that project would be. And here's some funding sources that you can go after for grants that may be of assistance. So I think that's a great step. The state of Connecticut is also making some modifications. You may have seen that they've been installing wrong way driver alarms for people that accidentally go the wrong way on the highway. That's one thing that I think improves safety in that corridor. They're also changing exit 24's off-ramps to create a safer way for them to install sidewalks on both sides of Silas Deane, right at the ramps. So they're going to remove what we call the slip lanes, where people kind of merge into traffic when they come off. Instead, they're going to be coming to a traffic light and stopping. So it's going to be like a sharp 90-degree turn, as opposed to this long, gentle transition where they merge into roadway traffic. I've had a lot of crashes at those locations, so they're looking to improve the safety in that area with something like that. That's great, because that's a point of difficulty in trying to connect Rocky Hill and Weathersfield. If we wanted to have a sidewalk that easily went from where we are here at Town Hall to the Weathersfield Town line, that ramp is an obstacle for us. So having DOT design some changes for that is fantastic. So the design is supposed to be completed in early 2026, and I think they want to start construction next year. So that'll be a kind of the missing link that both of the towns need to be able to help connect each other.
And Jason, you talked about the community outreach, right? For them to kind of show on the map the areas where they want to see some changes, whether it is lighting.
Yeah.
So is there something you think that's going to start this year?
Yeah. The feedback, most definitely.
Okay.
They are in the process of putting together a website. And then we'll send out a notice that residents will be able to go to that website and they can submit their feedback electronically, things that they're interested in. So they'll be able, we'll be able to get their name and we'll be able to get the information that they want to pass on to us. And that'll help them aggregate that data together so that they can look at the corridor and then try to come up with some designs based on that feedback. So we'll have a chance where we'll be able to sit down and actually look at some of these conceptual designs, give our input, and they'll have presentations for both Rocky Hill and Weathersfield residents where they show some of these proposals. So, and that'll be an in-person meeting at some point in the future.
We can use our task force meeting to kind of spread that awareness
Mhm.
and sharing with the community.
I was hoping that we would have had that website available for Rocky Hill at the time of this meeting. They have one for Weathersfield that they're just finishing, so that may actually be live by now. So I think the Rocky Hill one is going to be coming imminently.
Okay.
So keep an eye on the town's website. We're under our news and announcements. I'm sure we'll have a release on that very soon.
The next one on the agenda is the sustainable projects discussion.
That's kind of a big issue. Briefly, since I know you have to go, our sustainability certification, a lot of the data looks back as far as 2022. Starting next year, the look back cutoff is going to be 2023. A lot of the project work happened in 2022. So certification is going to be difficult going forward without having new programs to update some of those earlier programs. So I think we need to be proactive in looking at where the gaps are, so that we can keep that work going, so that the points that we've already achieved, we can continue to get credit for going forward. I had intended for this meeting to have a summary of that. Unfortunately, because of the way the data was released from Sustainable CT, it was hard to see what's been approved and not approved, although it sounds like what Jack had just said, that now has changed. So what I had intended on doing was having a spreadsheet with different actions that we've gotten credit for and the date of that action, so that we could say, all right, well, here's some points that we may be losing in the upcoming years.
Yeah, it
Let's-
does show that. You know, the stuff we're gonna be losing in 22, if you go to the next screen
Right.
on it. And-
Oh, good, so it's actually been summarized already?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
fantastic.
As a matter of fact, I was just looking at your complete street, what you sent in, and looked really good. The 12 complete street projects that you worked on.
Yeah, we've done a few things. We've done some sidewalk additions
Yeah,
to
was
our
the
network.
bike ramps.
The bike
type of
ramps, yep,
things,
and that was
stuff.
started as feedback from the community, looking for bike
Right,
racks
right,
here,
yeah.
at some town facilities.
At the library.
Yep.
and,
And we have a parking lot across the street from Town Hall by the Congregational Church.
Right.
That's a town lot right in front of it, so we added bike racks there, we added them at the library, here at the Town Hall over by where the Historical Society building is.
Yep.
And then, down at Ferry Park,
Ferry Park, yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
we added bike racks and a bicycle repair station there. The bicycle repair station was something that was already in the works from the Parks Department, so we were able to do, a concrete pad for both of those.
Okay, is the repair stuff there now?
Yeah.
Oh, it is there,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
I kind of noticed it, but I didn't make the connection. So,
Mhm.
well, it's okay, good, I'll check it out a little further next time I come.
Jason, the next town council meeting, which is on October 6th, can we add an agenda for us to, I can be there and anyone from the task force can be there to provide an update on where we stand, and if we can get some of the, if it is easy for us to pull from the website on what are the ones that we have to come up with the programs and the look back period is ending, if we can come up with like a high level view to share with the town council. I think that may be, it's been a while that we have visited the town council and provided an update.
Okay,
If you can
I will send an email to, right after the meeting, I'll send an email to the town manager and see if we can fit us on the agenda I don't know if that agenda's already been prepared or not,
Okay.
so it may have to wait for a following meeting, but I'll investigate that and I'll send you an email in the morning. I'll take a look and
Even
see
if
if
it
there's
is
something already up
for
there.
giving a quick update on where we stand and on the silver certification.
Yeah.
Whatever we can.
Yeah,
Even if it
if
is a
we
short
can-
period that we can.
Well,
get.
yeah, it's almost like we'd like to come to them saying we
Right.
did get it,
Yes.
or, I don't know if we want to tell them we didn't get it.
I mean, at least we say the work that we have done and what is
Yeah,
planned for
yeah, actually.
2025, 2026.
Yeah.
So that way we kind of
Yeah, good.
show the progress and provide an update.
Absolutely, because, one of the roles of our task force is to be advisory.
Right.
So, we may have some things that we want to advise them on. So it might be a great opportunity to kind of reintroduce the task force, because we do have some new members now since the last time there was an update. And then let them know that, we may have some requests in the upcoming year to try to keep things going. So hopefully that'd be useful for everyone. Okay, I can do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
also as part of that too, you'd requested I give you an update on how much food waste the
Yes,
town
yes.
has
If we can get
brought down, yes. Yeah,
the-
I will have
the
that for that
compost
meeting as well.
I know when we are talking about the look back period, there is something that we do during the Halloween, which is called pumpkin smash. I think we need to follow up with the youth services to see that they're the ones who did last year, again with the collaboration with the Sustainable Task Force team. Maybe this year we need to check with the youth services team to see if they have something planned out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone?
I could,
You,
actually.
Jack, okay.
Is that the pumpkin
Smash, yeah.
Is Alan Bagley still?
Yeah.
Does he still organize that?
We can actually, that's a good point, Robert. Alan.
Baglia?
Baglia, he's
No,
the
I
one.
don't think he does it anymore, but he's more of a historical society now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alan is, plus he does the sustainability
Right.
webpage too,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah. Okay. I can reach out to Alan and see. Jack, you can.
But I haven't heard anything about the pumpkin patch, but I was kind of I was involved with that last year.
I'll give you the town contact too.
Okay, that would be great.
At
Yeah.
Youth Services,
That would be
Lori, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send that.
Yeah, Lori, yeah.
I have to leave now, but Jack is here to continue.
Okay. Just as a heads up, this is our tentative schedule for next year.
Okay.
So, we're still planning on having Monday meetings. That's-
Okay, great. Because, actually, you're almost done anyway.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Because
So
A is for me, I'm fine with that.
That's 8/8,
You could
So,
actually adjourn, I think.
yeah,
If Jason-
well, I
you're all
need
set.
I need a vote on this if possible.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, basically, we had looked at the schedule for the upcoming year. We have to have a schedule approved before the first of the year. I don't have rooms yet for these dates, but these are dates and times that are not conflicting with other proposed alternative schedules. So as long as Monday still works for
Yeah,
staff,
that's
that
fine.
seems to be a good day for us.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Nay.
So I'm requesting if someone can.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve this schedule.
I'll say.
That's the last one. So the next meeting is on Monday, the October 27th at 6:30 p.m.
Yep. You're in,
That's the
you're in
next.
this room.
So do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I motion, we adjourn.
Then I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.